said that he would do everything himself. He immediately did everything as it was more convenient
For
me.
my subscribers.
The room looked better now. A couple of hours later, when I finished everything, took a shower and sat in front of the mirror. I was horrified. I just had terrible hair. I looked at myself and couldn't figure out what was wrong. Why am I so uneasy? And when I looked in the mirror, I suddenly felt pain. The seam of my forehead hurt, which I had hit during the accident. It was terrible, a sharp flash of memory. I was in the back seat of the car. Screams. My mother was sitting in front of me, and she screamed and told me to duck. I closed my eyes and, "Sandy, is everything all right?" My mom said. I jumped out of fear, and then I asked, "You were with me too, and you're all right." My mother hesitated a little, paused, and then said that by a miracle everything was fine, and then she invited me to dinner. There were a lot of goodies on the table, and they poured me an orange juice. By the way, I couldn't stand it. I always drank only cherry. I asked for water, and I didn't mention it. After dinner, I went to my room to sleep. All night I dreamed about the moment with the accident, and I screamed in my sleep. I didn't see my mother's face, I just heard her voice, and it was different. It seemed strange. The next day, I asked if I went to school, and my mom said that Zoe and I went together. At school, everything was no less strange. Almost no one knew me, and Zoe said that I had recently transferred. Why, she did not say. All these things bothered me, and I thought more and more about my vision of the accident. So it took about 6 months. At first I thought it was me, my condition, my experience of the accident, but then something happened. One day, Zoe didn't go to school with me, so I went alone. I decided to take a different route. I wanted to take a little walk. On my way to class, I wandered into a street that looked familiar. "Sandy, is that you?" a girl asked me. She ran up to me and started kissing me, hugging me, and then I realized I didn't recognize her. I explained about the memory problems, but her face seemed like that, as if I knew her.
Alright, I'm pouring it in there, y'all.
Remember me? She asked, but my mom said I didn't have any friends, just Zoe. She started asking me how I was doing, and how I was feeling, and then she asked me why I left home. I didn't leave. I live where I lived, I said. "Your house was recently sold. I'm sorry about your family," she told me. Just as I was about to ask a question, Zoe was there. She took my hand and ran, saying we were late. Mary was left behind, and we didn't say goodbye. I had more questions.
The moments y'all been waiting on.
At dinner that night, I asked her about the accident.
I do it for a vine, look.
I want to remember it.
Did it for all my subscribers on Facebook, TikTok, and everything else.
I shouted, and my mother got angry. She slammed on the table and shouted back, "Aren't you glad that I'm all right?"
This is hot
I
sauce.
replied that I just wanted to
And
understand
it
what
is
happened.
very
But
spicy.
my father said that he would stop living in the past. It stung me, and I got angry. I said everything I thought. "Where are my photos?" I asked them. They were surprised and asked what kind of photos. I explained that there were only photos of Zoe and not just of me everywhere in the house.
Did I really?
My mother said that when they had been lost in the move. When asked why I don't have friends, she said that I'm not social. And when I asked why I don't really have things in my size in my closet, and asked for a wallpaper, why there's no music on my computer, and my mother said that I didn't.
Holy,
strange, and
that's
I
hot.
calmed down.
Oh shit.
I screamed as if
Oh
something
shit.
had possessed me. And then I said I didn't feel like they were my family, and I got slapped on the face by my mom. I started to cry, and then I ran into the room. My mother ran after me, and on the way, I slipped and fell on my head on the floor. The sharp memories hit me like a slap in my mother's face. I was driving in the car with my mother. We were listening to music loudly, and then a truck suddenly rushed at us. Our car skidded in the snow, and the only thing my mother said to me was, "Close your eyes," and suddenly I saw her. I saw my mother's face. It was different, or rather, it was a different person. I opened my eyes abruptly and saw a stranger standing over me. It was definitely not my family. I sat down and asked, looking into my mother's eyes, "Where's my mother?" She almost fainted from this question.
I can handle it. I can take it. I can take it. Oh my god, that's hot. Holy, that's hot.
Dad calmed me down, sat me on the couch, and they told me I was right. In their words, I learned that my mother was killed in that accident, and I was left alone. This family is my mother's best friends, and my mother's request was that they take care of me. I understood that you would not accept us, and that you would want to live like this now, that you would miss her. And when the doctor said that you had lost your memory, I suddenly thought, why don't we... And she didn't finish, and I interrupted her. "Why don't you lie to me?" My mother stood up for me. He said that they wanted what was best for me. They wanted me to not be hurt, and they wanted me to start my life. First, I hated them so much. I felt cheated. I wanted to cry. I hadn't spoken to them in days.
Oh god, it's hot.
Then my fake mom invited me for a ride. She took me to my mother's cemetery, where I finally saw her face in the photo.
Excuse me.
I cried so hard. And then I was given a look at her message. Her last word before she died. She asked me to be strong, to live with her friends, and she said she loved me. And after that, I realized that I should be grateful to this family for not leaving me alone. We've been living closer together ever since. I miss my mom so much, but she asked me to move on.
Hi everyone, my name is Duke. Just recently, I literally back from the dead.
Holy crap. Thank ya.